You've probably done what they told you. You've read the books, you've set the goals, you've created the vision boards, and you've mastered your morning routine. And maybe for a while it felt like it was working. You were making moves. I mean, you were gaining ground, doing the things that successful people do. But something isn't just clicking. Like there is some invisible resistance, a wall you can't see but feel every time you try to break through. You keep gaining momentum only to get pulled back again and again. Not by someone else, not by some external force, but something within. And it is really becoming frustrating for you. Therefore, you start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can I work this hard and still feel like I'm not moving? Why does it feel like I'm walking through life with the brakes half on? Here's the first thing I want you to hear, and I want you to hear me very carefully. And believe me when I say this, you are not broken. You, my friend, are simply programmed. Hi, my name is Campbell, and I want to welcome you to this transformational series I'm calling Breaking the Belief Trap, where we unpack why people like you, ambitious, thoughtful, and driven, can still feel stuck despite doing all the right things. Now, this isn't just another mindset series. This is about going beneath the surface, down to the subconscious operating system that's actually running your life. Because here's what I've learned working with high achieving leaders and entrepreneurs and change makers from every walk of life. It's rarely a lack of strategy. It's rarely a lack of time. It's not even fear, or at least the way that you think. It's what I call the invisible prison, a cage made not of steel, but of belief. You don't see the bars, but you feel their limits every single day. And that cage, it's built from the stories you've absorbed before you even knew that they were stories. Beliefs about what's possible, beliefs about what's acceptable, what's safe, what's realistic, and worst of all, what's meant for people like you. But those beliefs aren't the ones you consciously chose. They were shaped by your environment. They were shaped by your upbringing, your experiences. And once they were installed, they started running in the background, running automatically, like a silent script that's guiding your decisions, guiding your emotions, guiding your actions. Therefore, no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you apply effort towards your goals, if the core belief underneath it all is, I'm not enough, or success will cost me my peace, or people like me don't just get to live that kind of life, then your subconscious will pull the emergency brake every time you try to accelerate. You will find yourself self-sabotaging, not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, but because deep down, a part of you still believes you're safer where you are. And here's where it gets even trickier for you. Most of these beliefs are invisible. Now, you don't wake up saying to yourself, today, I will operate from a scarcity mindset. You don't do that. You just avoid the risks. You don't decide to say, I will procrastinate today. You simply say yes when you mean no. You stay in environments that shrink you, and you chalk it up to just being realistic. But make no mistake, my friend, this is the belief trap. It's not always loud. Sometimes it simply whispers, but it shapes your reality just the same. It's why you hit the same income ceiling, even when you're changing jobs. You hop from one job to another, still earning the same. It's why your relationships follow the same painful patterns, even with different people. It's why your goals keep on changing, but your results feel eerily familiar. Therefore, let me give you a new lens to see this through. I want you to imagine your beliefs as the operating system on your phone. I have an iPhone. You're trying to run new powerful apps, and these apps are your goals, your habits, your routines. But you're trying to run them on software that hasn't been updated since childhood. What do you expect? Of course, it's going to glitch. Of course, it's going to crash. You will make progress and feel a surge of hope, and then out of nowhere, the old operating system takes over and resets everything back to normal. And what's worse, you think the problem is you, when in actuality, the problem is your programming. But I want to be absolutely clear. You can rewire your programming. You can rewire that inner operating system. And this isn't about slapping some affirmation over some wounds and calling it healing. Affirmations work, but it's about getting honest, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and doing the real work to shift your beliefs, to shift from those beliefs that are holding you back. I know it's not going to be easy, but it's absolutely worth it and absolutely possible. Listen, I've seen leaders reclaim their confidence, even after a major setback. I've seen entrepreneurs dismantle deeply held scarcity beliefs. I've seen people walk away from decades-old patterns in relationships because they finally realized this isn't who I am. It's who I've learned to be. Because clarity without belief is paralyzing. Desire without belief is exhausting, and vision without belief is just fantasy. So my goal over the next few episodes with you is I'm going to show you exactly how these beliefs, first of all, how they form. Secondly, how they embed themselves in your identity and how to begin breaking free. We'll talk about childhood programming. And we'll talk about cultural conditioning and emotional associations. And then I will share a step-by-step process to reclaim your inner authority and rebuild a belief system that actually supports the future that you envision. And here's my promise to you. By the time this series is done, you won't just understand the belief trap. You will know how to escape it. And that, to me, is worth watching this entire series. So if you've ever felt like you're meant for more, if there's a part of you that senses you're playing small, even when everything looks fine on the outside, this is your signal. This is the permission you've been waiting for. This is the work that needs to get done. Therefore, let's begin. Let's do it together. So I want you to do me a favor. First of all, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do so right now. Then I want you to watch the next video in the episode. And only if something in this video has hit home with you, I want you to share your biggest takeaway. Because the life that you want isn't waiting on better habits. It's waiting on better beliefs. So let's go get them together. See you in the next video.